Like so many car companies, Rolls-Royce has been through their fair share of ups and downs, but one thing that has remained consistent throughout is their ability to produce exceptional cars. But they left the ghost behind, and a new dawn was heralded in 2003 as they opened a new state-of-the-art facility in Goodwood, and they've produced some amazing cars since then. Phantom, Ghost, Wraith, Dawn, and of course now the Cullinan. But I think what is most telling is that they have this ability to appeal to obviously the traditional, but they've now also found a way to engage with the new, young, dynamic consumer by bringing out the Black Badge editions. And it's worked. These models sell to customers 20 years younger than the average Rolls-Royce owner. It's less dazzle, all the chrome's replaced by dark metal. Even the spirit of ecstasy has been vamped up. The black paintwork, the deepest and most intense seen on a production car. But you don't have to Model T it. Any colour is available. The wheels have 22 layers of carbon fibre. Inside, the fine wooden veneer is replaced by an aluminium threaded carbon composite that is used in stealth planes. But somehow I don't see these cars gliding by under the radar. Now, the standard joke has always been, if you want to know what a Rolls-Royce is like to drive, don't ask the owner, ask the driver. But that really has changed with cars like this, the Wraith and the Dawn. They've actually developed a bit of a performance sub-brand with their black badges. These cars are bringing out a lot more driver interaction and engagement. The steering is a lot more direct. Even the horsepower, they've managed to up the horsepower now. On the Wraith, there's a lot more torque, but in the Ghost, they've upped the torque and the kilowatts. But even the suspension is a little bit more urgent. The 8-speed transmission has been re-engineered. The settings have been changed, so it's a lot more aggressive on the downshift, and it holds onto gear when you're going through the corners. It actually makes it a car that you really are getting involved in the drive. It's actually quite incredible. I love it. A Rolls on a skid pan, it's mad. But you know what, it's not just about whether you are behind the wheel driving or in the back being driven. I think the word most associated with Rolls-Royce is waft, because that really is what it feels like. It's almost, they call it their magic carpet ride. And you know, I think irrespective of what road condition or road surface you're on, it doesn't really matter, because you somehow are above it. And I don't just mean that literally, figuratively as well. In a Rolls, you are above everything that comes your way. But irrespective of the model or the badge, Rolls-Royce has never moved away from that one thing that has set them apart, and that is bespoke craftsmanship, as I discovered on a recent trip to their headquarters. Wow, thank you, David. It is quite an arrival, the home of Rolls-Royce here at Goodwood. I don't think I've ever quite arrived with quite a fanfare. It is quite amazing. Hello.
Welcome, all right. Welcome to the home of Rolls-Royce.
Hello, James.
You're very welcome to come here.
Wow,
And,
I'm feeling very special.
good, I'm pleased,
That's the idea, isn't it?
It is a wonderful place. We've even squared off the trees for you.
You shouldn't have gone to all that effort. Let's go and have a look. So, it looks pretty good.
Yes, now the reason for wearing the coat is so that you will be instantly recognisable as a guest. So in the event of an emergency, the boys and girls on the line will show you the nearest exit.
That sounds boring. I thought you were telling me that I get to keep this as my bespoke coat.
Take a tip from the Flying Scotsman. I will be the first out the door, so follow me.
Lead the way, James.
This way.
Pat, the first thing I notice is the smell. This is wood for real. No shortcuts.
This is real wood. Smell that you can smell is basically the natural aroma that you'll get with cut timber. Most of the woods in here are hardwoods rather than softwoods, which is why we get that really nice, if you want, cigar type aroma that you can smell. My particular favourite, which is mahogany flare, it's a hardwood. Once it's actually got its finish on it, it tends to become more red than this. So what happens to most of the veneers is once they get the finish on, you'll get more colour coming out of them.
Is that like a complete pack for a car, as an example?
Yeah, so out of this particular car, this will make either a Ghost, Wraith or Dawn. So there's enough wood there to make one car. And what we do later on during the process is we will join that, we will cut it to create the individual parts within that car.
Wow. But we know people have gone crazy in terms of the bespoke nature of the colours. There are 44,000 different colours to choose from. Mind-boggling. What happens if someone wants a crazy colour with their wood? What do you do in that case?
There are many ways in which we can achieve that, depending on what the customer actually wants. There may be a specific veneer, in which case it will be a natural veneer. We can, if you want, stain those veneers to suit the customer's individual requirements, but there is also a way of doing it with our coloured lacquers. So we can actually colour the lacquer to suit the customer requirements, and that's a process we do later on during the process.
But that remains wood.
It's still, underneath there is still wood, yes.
James, so we've done the wood shop, now we're in the leather shop.
Yes.
It's quite an impressive setup.
Thank you.
I've seen as well, you've got your team here that'll actually go through the hide and look for any imperfections and mark that off, because that obviously doesn't want to be used.
This is Rolls-Royce. We don't use a computer. If you can see, they use their eyes and their fingers and they crawl all over the leather looking for those imperfections. And they're like chalk. As you can see, they chalk off the areas that can't be used.
But again, I mean, that for me is what is so special here, is that the machines can do so much, but
That's
we've
right.
got seamstresses doing the
Absolutely.
work. It's feeling, I mean, that comes from years of experience,
It is.
knowing what to feel for.
Yeah, absolute skills. It's
44,000 colours you were telling me about earlier in terms of choice.
That's
and I
right.
suppose it's no different when it comes to
No.
what colour you want your leather, because
No.
you're just going to dye it.
the customer, he will tell us the colour, or she will tell us the colour, and the farmer will send in the 30 half hides, not only the same colour, but from the same hair, so the quality is the same. This is Rolls-Royce. Quality, quality, quality.
Rolls-Royce's viewpoint that you literally can have anything that you want has seen some cars roll off the production line that will have the traditionalists grabbing for their bath bags. But I think probably the most controversial decision has been that of entering the SUV segment with the Cullinan. So even though they've already polished this diamond, I cannot quite get to like the looks of the Cullinan. But again, I suppose beauty is in the eye of the beer holder, or probably champagne drinker in this case. But I tell you what, it does drive in a beautifully refined and quiet manner. It's quite disconcerting actually, because a part of you wonders, is this car on, or have they brought out the Cullinan in EV, because it is that quiet. And it moves as well. That 6.75 litre V12's 420 kilowatts, 850 newton meters, delivers it low down. They've obviously tweaked the suspension as well. They've got a new double wishbone in the front and a 5-link rear axle as well. So ride quality, refinement is most certainly Rolls-Royce. Are you happy in the back?
Absolutely.
Rolls in the desert is above rubies. That was said by T.E. Lawrence, better known as Lawrence of Arabia. But in actual fact, Rolls-Royce isn't unfamiliar with tackling the rough stuff. In actual fact, the Silver Ghost won Car of the Year in 1913 for its ability to deal with the rough terrain on the Alpenfort Rally. It's actually a rally that still runs today, and they actually encourage the owners of Rolls to bring their old classic vehicles to enjoy the course. So it's not unfamiliar to see luxury in the most amazing, extreme, unusual settings and environments. It's quite incredible. Obviously with air suspension and all-wheel drive, what they've done is they've made way larger air dams, so there's a lot more air volume in the air suspension, and that is what allows this vehicle to be able to tackle the rough stuff. So when you are tackling the rough stuff like this, easy does it. It's got plenty of torque, all-wheel drive system obviously working. There's actually also all-wheel steer, there's hill descent, so it's got all the things that you really want. But the way it delivers it is in such a way that even if you're sitting in the back enjoying your champagne, you're not going to be spilling any of it. And when it comes to the Cullinan, I guess I've had a bit of an epiphany. I see them actually going full circle here. This car reminds me of the old horse-drawn carriage where it was effortless luxury anywhere and you really did stand out and look down on the minnows out there. I just don't think that the car engineer and the car salesman ever had any idea just what an impact they'd have on the motoring world with their partnership back in 1903.